All right, so good morning. So we'll take ourselves up somewhere near the top of the mat. I like to stand with a couple of inches in between the feet. So it gives you a bit of a broader and more of a stable stance. Let your arms come down by your sides. If you're comfortable closing your eyes, it just takes you that much more in tune and within and present to your body and your practice today. See if you can try that for just a couple of moments here, letting the body find its line and yet not collapsing into it. So we lightly hold ourselves up. A lot of that takes some leg and some core strength, and then perhaps we don't feel it so much, but even some back strength. So many of the poses that we do are so good for our backs. And we all have and keep our healthy backs. So in through the nose, we breathe. Out through the nose as well, so we avoid any type of mouth breathing in our practice. There are various exercises, breathing exercises, which include, using the mouth and such, but for our practice, it's just the nose. And then take the weight, rock it back towards your heels, maybe bring it a little bit more forward towards your toes, and then find yourself settling somewhere in between, as if you can feel the weight evenly distributed between the balls of your feet and your heels. Join your hands together in front of your heart. And that can be any way. You can clasp your hands. You can rest one hand in another. Anjali Mudra is where you actually put in what would be called a prayer position, your hands together. It's very tactile, connecting the insides of our hands towards each other. A tremendous amount of sensation and energy is there, and that's why we do that. The mudra of creating a sense of wholeness, oneness, so that we don't feel unglued, if you will, at least not in our practice. May your practice feel stable. May the stretches feel rewarding. And then may you be rewarded with the feeling of space in your body and maybe even in your mind. Let's inhale, reach the arms up over our heads. Open the eyes, look up towards the ceiling or the sky. Draw your belly in and get the side body nice and long. Beautiful. We're taking a side bend to the right. So drop the right arm down the right side of the body and lift the left arm up. Good. So your left rib cage gets long. Push your hips a little forward. Firm up your legs. Draw the belly in and reach nice and long through your left arm. And then come on up, go to the other side. Take the left arm down and the right arm up. Right arm reaches up, hips come forward. Good. Your chin up away from your chest and just open up. Push your right heel down a little bit more. Get grounded. Good. Both arms back up over your head, and we'll take a soft forward fold. Bend your knees. Come down nice and slow, at least this first one. Sometimes the forward folds can happen a little too fast. Take a little bit of time and then release your ribs. Let them hang. Let them go. Allow your low back to stretch. You don't have to hold yourself up. Let your legs do that. If you can get your hands on the floor, I would like that. Or on blocks, not a bad idea to have blocks for your home practice. Let your head hang so that the side of the neck gets long, the back of the head gets long, the head and the chest hang down. Good. And then from here, we'll take our right leg, and we're going to step it to the back of the mat. Good. Put your right knee down on the floor, and then straighten your left leg by shifting your hips back. Come into what's called a half splits pose. Flex your left foot and start to dig a little deeper into your left leg, your left hamstring. Let the head and the chest drop down and forward a bit. You'll start to feel a little bit more happening in the leg. Try and straighten your left leg as much as you can, but go to the sensation that you find tolerable. Feel like this is something that you could hold for a little bit, because that's what's going to make the muscles relax and eventually open up. Give the muscles a chance to get some memory here. My hamstrings get tight on a daily basis. Just walking makes them tight. Very nice. And now slowly come back forward into your lunge. Keep your right knee down on the floor. Keep your right hand on the floor. Pick up your left arm and twist. So turn your chest towards your left knee. Maybe look up beyond your left fingertips, stay firm, push down through your right arm, and open up strong across your chest. Well done. Bring your left hand down on the inside of your left leg. Walk your left foot a little bit to the left, so you're in a lizard lunge here. Keep your left knee over your left ankle. Allow the hips to drop down. Allow the hips and the chest to drop down a little bit more. Maybe you come down on your forearms. We're here for about another 20 seconds. I like to stay on my hands with this. It just seems to work best for where my hips are today. Good. Take 2 more breaths here. Right, letting the weight come into it, letting it sink down. Last breath. Nice. And now come up onto your hands. Take your left leg, step it back next to your right. So you're on your hands and your knees. Reposition yourself here. Classic all fours position. Take an inhale. Drop your belly, lift your tail, and lift your chest. And then exhale, breathe in, pull the belly in, bring the chin to the chest, drop the head down for the cat stretch. A few more. Inhale, breathing into the calf. Nice and slow, rippling through your spine, lift your heart. Exhale, breathing, belly pulls in, head hangs, chin to chest. Good. One more time. Inhale here. Belly drops, lift your tail, lift your chest. And then exhale, breathing, bring the chin into your chest, tailbone drops down, very nice. From here, come down onto your forearms, and we'll take our legs back into a Sphinx pose. Very, very simple, yet beautiful pose, really powerful pose for your back. So when you come into Sphinx, make sure you're not collapsing in between your shoulders. So you're propping yourself up, right? You're pushing down through your forearms. Your feet might be a couple of inches apart. Right, pressing the tops of the feet down a bit, right? Maybe the kneecaps slightly lift. So you feel a little engagement in your legs. And with that, you can then scoop your chest up just a little bit more. Start to get into the back. Unclench the glutes. So don't let the glutes kind of squeeze also tight into this. And let this shape come into the spine and into the lower back. 3 breaths here. So good posture to do if the back is feeling kind of cranky or tight or whatnot. It's just a good supported stretch for the spine. Last breath. Nice. And then let's lower it all down. Bring the head down towards the floor. We'll come into child's pose. Place your hands under your shoulders and push your hips back towards your heels. Let the hips come back towards the heels. Let the head and the chest come down towards the ground. Good. Then relax the back a bit, letting the crease of your hips get a little bit deeper. Easing your hips back towards your heels. And then bringing the forehead down towards the floor. Feeling the forehead come down towards the ground. Very nice. 2 more breaths here. Child's pose. Take this one every day just to stretch the back part of your body. Extend your arms nice and long out in front of you. Then let's lift up into our first down dog. So we do several of the downward facing dogs in class. The first one, take your time coming into. Find yourself easing into the shape. We all know the shape, right? So we have that image in our mind, and it's just making sure we can get our body into that shape. We can't see ourselves. Right? A lot of it comes from the arms pushing, the hands pushing into the ground, sending the tail up higher and the side body getting longer. Let the heels press down towards the ground. They don't have to touch. And then this tremendous space into your spine, the backs of your legs. And a lot of space in which you can breathe. So make sure you're doing that in your downward facing dog. Take advantage of the breath. 1 more breath here. Nice. And then look forward and bring your feet up to your hands. So come back up to your standing forward fold. Place your hands on your shins. Push the shins back, lifting the chest up. Inhale. And then exhale, breathing. Drop your head and your chest down. Good. Inhale, breathing, come all the way up to a stand. Sweep your arms up over your head, reach up powerfully, and then bring your palms together and back again heart. Do that on the other side. So inhale, breathing. Lift your arms up. Lift up from the back of your heart. Exhale, soft forward fold. Bend your knees. Keep your back as flat as possible. Inhale, breathing here. Now your left leg will step to the back of the mat. Place the left knee down. Shift the weight back. In other words, start to straighten your right leg and flex your right foot. Toes towards your nose. Chest stays nice and long. Spine stays as long as possible. Hips stay square. Side body gets long. Good. As now you get underneath your right leg. I don't think there's anybody who doesn't feel this to any degree. So hold the stretch, maybe not the 100% stretch, that might not be sustainable, but hold a little sensation into the body. Hold, let those muscles get long. Give it some breathing, give it some breath work, a little bit of patience. 2 more breaths here. Simple, simple, basic poses usually are the best. They are the best. Last breath. Nice. And then come back to your lunge position here. Keep your left hand on the floor and we'll twist. We'll take the right arm up. Turn your torso towards your right knee. Work your head, your neck, wherever it's most comfortable. Reach up through the arm and move through the chest, through the spine. Squeeze the inner thighs together. Good. And now place the right hand down on the inside of your right foot. Move your right foot a little bit over to the right. Just squiggle it over to the right. Give yourself a little bit of space for your lizard lunge. Let your hips drop down. Left hip, the crease of the hip, weight into your right heel. Right. As your both hips start to find some space in different ways. Complement the side. Good. Couple more breaths here. And then come back up on to your hands and push yourself up to your hands and bring yourself back again to your hands and your knees. So coming back to our hands and our knees, walk the knees in a little closer together here. On an inhale, pick up the right leg and the left arm. Okay? And then exhale, put it both back down. Other side, inhale, left leg, right arm. It's quick, so get them nice and long. And then exhale, put it down. And then continue, inhaling for the length. Exhaling, release down. Other side, stay firm through the hand that's on the floor as the other arm lifts up into the air. So working asymmetrically into the back. You want to get as much extension as you can in the legs. That will open up the hip flexors. Draw the belly in when the knee lifts up off the floor. Take one more on each side. Very nice. And then release. Coming back to the Sphinx pose. Come back down onto your forearms. Prop your chest up. Again, finding maybe just a little bit more ease. So notice that this feels a little bit different than when we did it just a few moments ago. Push down through the arms, lift up through the chest. Eye gaze is somewhat forward, but not looking up. So make sure your head and your neck stay in a nice position here. 2 more breaths. Last breath. And then slowly lower down. Forehead down on the floor. Come onto the tips of your fingers, right in line with your face, elbows lifting up towards the ceiling. So run your claws, dig into them, and now lift your chest up, coming into a little bit of a deeper supported backward bend here. Inhaling here. Exhale, breathing lower down. Let's do 2 more. Inhale, breathing. Reach through your toes. Dig through the tips of your fingers. Lift your chest. Exhale, breathing lower down. Last one. Inhale, breathing again. Take it up. And then exhale, breathing. Bring it down. So now extended child's pose. Hands under your shoulders. Lift up. Keep your arms straight because I want to take this into a bit of a threading of the needle. So keep your right arm reaching forward. Your knees can be a little bit apart. And reach your left arm underneath your right arm. So stretch it over to the right and then drop your left shoulder and the side of your head down towards the ground. So your upper back can get a little bit of a release here. Now with your right hand, push your right hip closer towards your heel and reach through your left fingertips, getting into the upper spine. Little tiny bit, that hangs. Couple more breaths. Twists are always good complements to any kind of backward bending. And then switch sides, come up. Extend your left arm out in front of you and thread your right arm underneath it. Turn your head to the left. Drop down. Maybe the shoulder doesn't quite touch the floor. Don't worry about it. Close is good, right? Letting yourself come into it as deeply as you can. Very nice. Let the head and the chest relax. Push a bit into the left hand, pushing your left hip back. One more breath here. Good. And then come back. Both hands out in front of you. Walk your hands back and bring yourself up to a kneeling position. Go into this kneeling position here. Place your hands on your hips and let's take the left foot and step it up to the front of the mat. Low crescent lunge, reach your arms up over your head. Good. Lift up through your chest, let your hips drop down and forward, open up through the heart, the side body. Good. Take your hands behind you, sweep them behind you, interlace your fingers, pull your knuckles back, open up your chest, let the shoulders come back, but then drop the hips down and forward a little bit more. Beautiful. Release the grip, place your hands down on the floor, and step into downward facing dog. Inhale, breathing, shift forward into plank pose. And then exhale, breathing, lower down onto the mat. Baby cobra, inhale, lift your chest, feel your strength, right? Squeeze into the back a bit to get the heart to lift up a little higher. And then exhale, breathing, lower down. We're gonna come back to the knees, so push yourself up, kneeling position. Other side, hands to your hips, step your right foot up to the front of the mat. Low lunge, inhale, lift up. And reach up through your side body, lift up through the back of your heart. Nice. Side body gets long, reach up through the fingertips. Well done. Take your hands behind you, interlace them, maybe switch up the grip. Non-dominant thumb on top. Pull the knuckles back, open up the chest, the collarbones, chin up. Let the throat stretch out a little bit. Drop your hips down and forward. And release, downward facing dog. Come on back into the dog position. Well done. From your down dog, walk your hands back to your feet. So coming to a standing forward fold towards the back of your mat. Bend your knees a little bit, place your hands on your outer hips, and very gently bring yourself up to a standing position. Tree pose, standing on our left leg. Take the sole of your right foot to the inside of the leg. Now squaring your hips, right? Getting your left hip over your left ankle, and then reaching your arms up over your head. Right. The side body is long, standing leg is strong. Reach up through the crown of the head, reach up through your fingertips. Belly pulls in, nice. Breathe, don't forget to breathe. That will not interrupt your balance. That will not make the pose more difficult. It actually becomes a little bit more doable when there's breath. It's a tremendous amount of concentration and strength to maintain balance. Bring your hands to your heart center, good, and place your right foot down. We'll take it to the other side. So now we'll stand on our right leg, take the left foot to the inside of the right leg. Right leg solid. And then arms. Reach up. Good. Side body gets long. Crown of the head reaches up through the tips of your fingers. Well done. Lift up through the chest. Belly in. Right leg firm. Maybe it's a breezy day in the forest. So be it. So be it. Hang in there. 2 more breaths here. Big discipline to have in your body is the sense of balance. Good for the nervous system. Beautiful. Hands together, please, in front of your heart, and place your left foot down. Very nice. Good. Let's walk up to the top of our mat. Good. So from the top of the mat, warrior one pose. Hands to your hips, step your right leg to the back of the mat. Good. Stay facing the front, bend your left knee, and reach your arms up over your head. Virabhadrasana 1. Arms over your head. We do that a lot. It's a way of supporting and keeping length into the spine. Good. Decompressing the back. Pretty much the opposite of what gravity does to us. Push through your back foot, reach up through the fingertips, drop down into your front heel. Good. Belly pulls in. Nice. A couple more breaths here. Very, very powerful lunge. Your back leg is engaged. Make this pose about your back leg. Make this pose about your spine lifting. And then you bend your front leg as deeply as you can without compromising the other 2. And place your hands on your hips, straighten your left leg, and now turn yourself over to the right. Good. Take a bit of a goddess squat, a horse squat. Turn your heels in, your toes out. Nice. Bend your knees. You can lean on your legs a little bit forward if need be, keeping the weight. That's it. Try and keep your back flat so your chest is, that's it, Lynn, your chest is somewhat lifted. And then from there, you drop down into your hips. So the weight going to the outsides of the feet, not a lot of weight on your big toes at all. Inner thighs open up. As you breathe and drop down. Admittedly, not the most pleasant pose, right? Not the happy place in our yoga practice, but it does get into our hips in a much needed way. Chances are, if you're feeling it, maybe you need it. Maybe. Last breath. Good. And then stand up from here. Very nice. Turn your toes back forward. We'll take a forward fold from here. Place your hands on your hips and come down with ease. Nice and slow. Yeah. All the way down. Place your hands down on the floor. And hang. So this first one, I do want your hands to touch the floor. So open your legs as much as possible. You might need to bend your knees a little bit. If it's available, straighten your legs. Let your head and your chest hang. Leave a lot of space into your back in this pose. A lot of space happening into the spine. Let the head and the chest hang. Nice. Weight comes forward a little bit into your toes. You can use your hands to help you balance so you don't topple forward. Very, very deep pose, very deep expression. It's a good one. Nice. You want to bring your hands back underneath your shoulders. Lift your chest up. Good. Place your hands on your hips and bring yourself up to a stand. Good. And then turn yourself back towards the front of the mat. Turn the toes back forward. Yeah. And then once again, bend the leg. So extended side angle here. Place the forearm down on the thigh. That's it. And take the arm up over your head. Reach up through your arm. See if you can get your right arm fully extended. Work into the shoulder, into the elbow a little tiny bit. Dropping down into your hips even more. And pushing through your back foot. So you get this tremendous stretch on the right side of your body. Well done. And let's take downward facing dog again. Put your hands down on either side of your left foot, your front foot, and step back into dog. Inhale, breathing, come forward into plank pose, vinyasa. Lower yourself down. Take a back bend cobra, maybe an up dog, if you have that. And then back to downward facing dog. Toes tuck, and you lift yourself up. Done. 3 breaths in your downward facing dog. Tailbone lifting up. Side body nice and long. Look forward, bend your knees, and bring your feet up to the top of the mat. Good. Inhale, breathing, half lift. Exhale, breathing, fold. And then inhale, come all the way up again. And exhale, breathing, bring your hands to your heart center. Good. Let's take it on the other side. So hands to your hips. We started with warrior one. This time we'll step the left leg, your other leg back. Good. Forward facing warrior. Start to bend your front leg, drop down into your front heel, and reach up through your. Nice. Holding yourself up as you push through your back foot, reaching up through your fingertips, side body nice and long. Drop down into your front foot, lift up. Good. Let your left hip flexors open up, reach up through your fingertips. Belly pulls in. Nice. 3 more breaths here. Hold the heart high. Yeah. And maybe get a little lungier and a little deeper into your lower body. It's essential to hold these poses. It's essential to bring this imprint into the body, into the landscape. Nice. 1 more breath. Good. And then place your hands on your hips and straighten out your leg. All right, turn yourself over to the side. So now we're coming back into the goddess pose. Turn your heels in, your toes out. This time we're going to hold our arms up, cactus arms. Hold them up higher than you'd like to and pull them back. So your chest starts to open up quite a bit. Belly is in, tail drops down. Nice. Inner thighs open up. And breath maybe deepens a bit to support this posture. Good. 1 more breath here, sit down a little bit deeper. And then inhale, straighten everything out. Your legs and your arms, reach up kind of like a starfish. And then exhale, squeeze back down into the foot. And then inhale, reach all the way up. And exhale, drop down. Good. 1 more, inhale, bring it up. And exhale, take it down. Good. Place your hands to your hips. And again, straighten your legs. Good. Turn your heels out, your toes in, and we'll take a forward fold, come down. Put your hands down on the floor. Turn your hands the other way and walk them through your legs. Drop the head of the chest down. Tail up, upper body hangs. Good. Side body gets long, head hangs. Weight towards your toes. Nice. And then walk your hands as far back as they're going to go. Determining what your edge is for today, for today's practice. Next. 2 more breaths. And then bring your hands back forward, under your shoulders, push into the floor. Hands to your hips, lift yourself up. Turn your right toes forward, extended side angle. Bend your right knee, lightly rest your right forearm on your right thigh, and extend your left arm up over your head. Drop down and reach long. Good. Belly pulls in, push through your outer left foot. Turn your chest up, open, without sticking your hips back behind you. Well done. 1 more breath here. Get a little bit deeper into your hips. Nice side body stretch. Downward facing dog. Put your hands down, spin back. Right leg comes back to left. tailbone up. So you're welcome to stay in the dog, or you can come through vinyasa, which is plank, lowering down either halfway or all the way, and then coming into your backward bend. And going back to your downward facing dog. Nice. 2 breaths here. Last breath. And then look forward and bring your feet up to your hands. Inhale, half lift. And exhale, fold back down. So put your hands down on the floor. Walk your feet together. And we'll come into a toe stand. So lift your heels, bend your knees into a little squatty type position here. So my heels are off the floor. The legs are squeezing together. Walk your hands back towards your heels. That will lift your chest up a bit. And then see if you can balance here. Bring your shoulders back up over your hips. Squeeze your legs together and bring your hands to your heart. Good. Strengthening your feet, your ankles. Holding your chest up, working a little bit of balance. You actually get a little bit of quad strength in here as well. Very nice. And put your hands back down and straighten your legs, dropping your heels. Good. Place your hands on your outer hips and bring yourself up to a stand. Very nice. Now take your feet out towards the edges of your mat. Our deepest side bend, take the arms up over your head. Steeple mudra, interlace your fingers, release your index. Cross your thumbs, lean over to the right. Good. Power through your arms, keep your chin up off your chest. Hug your biceps towards your head. Maybe your ears are visible if you were looking in the mirror. Good. And then come up, go to the other side. Kind of like a tick-tock over to the left. Firm up the legs, the torso. Reach over to the side, right side body. Getting long, reach through the tips of your fingers. Beautiful. And then come back up. And again, forward fold. Bend your knees a little tiny bit if you'd like. Good. This time, spin your heels in, your toes out. Come down to a squat. Bringing your arms on the insides of your legs, lift your chest up. Good. Pressing your arms into your legs at your back. Start to find length. If you have a block, this is a good posture for actually sitting your hips down on the block. The work strengthens and opens up to the inner thighs. Good. One more breath here. And then place your hands behind you and slowly drop down onto the ground. Very nice. Good. Sit down with your legs extended out in front. Good. And let's bend the right leg. Take the right leg, right foot, and bring it on the other side of your left leg. Hold on to the right shin and lift your chest up. Good. Now keep holding on to it with your left hand and bring your right hand behind you. So now we're coming into a twist. Good. Push down through the right arm, lift up through your chest. Then you can stay here. If you want a little bit of a deeper experience, reach your left arm up and bring the arm on the outside of your right leg. There's a common Gyan mudra with your left hand, bringing the thumb and the index finger together. Flex through your left foot. Press your left leg down, reach up through the crown of your head. Take the twist higher up your spine, and maybe look back over your right shoulder. Good. Come back forward. Grab the right shin with your hands and lie down, pulling the right knee into your chest. Flex through your left push. And drop down strong, pull strong into your right leg, getting a strong pinch into your right hip. Keep your elbows close into the sides of the body. Flex through your left foot. Good. A great pose for the digestive system, for the lower abdominal region. Very nice. We'll kind of take this, kind of what they call going around the world. So what we'll do is we'll release the right leg down, pull the left knee in, okay, interlace the fingers. Good. Reach for the left knee, pull the knee down towards the shoulder, flex through your right foot, press your back down. Little squeezing, pinching feeling into the left hip. Good, powerful pose here. Good. Various different ways of getting into the hips. But one more breath. And kind of loosen the leg a bit. Lift the head and the chest up, bringing the nose towards the knee, and then pull yourself up to a seat. All right. Now take your left leg, cross it on the outside of your right, pulling the shin in, lift your chest up. Good. Hold your left leg with your right hand, bring your left hand behind you. So start turning your chest towards the left. Get out of your low back. Notice if it's starting to slouch a bit. Sit up a little taller, stay here, or take your right arm up. Bring your right arm in the outside of your left leg. You can get a little bit more into the upper spine this way. Chin is level, look back over your left shoulder. Push down through your left arm. Eye gaze goes back and twist, and twist, and twist. And then very gently release, come forward, and undo your left leg. And extend the left leg back down next to the right. Good. Paschimottanasana. So our deepest forward fold. Take an inhale, push your legs down, reach up, sit up nice and tall. And then exhale, breathing, come forward. Put your hands down. Your hands can rest on your legs or on the floor. Let your upper body not only come down towards the legs, but come forward. So you want to find a balance of both, really reaching long through your low back, almost as if you want to get your nose closer to your toes, and then let the body start to come down. This one slowly. So if I were using blocks, I would place blocks on either side of my calves and let the forearms rest on this. Okay? It might not come down to the floor. Maybe we're not just, we're not open into our backs quite yet. And then the last part of the pose is letting the head hang. So the upper neck and the shoulders can start to stretch a tiny bit. Nudge. Two more breaths here. A good posture for the back side of the body, but you don't want to pull. You want to be careful with your forward folds. Let them come into your natural range of motion. But be careful pulling too much on them. Last breath. And gently lift yourself up. Done. All right, take a bridge pose, which kind of puts it all together on the back. So we'll lie down. Place the feet on the floor. So Setu Bandhasana. Arms are by your sides. Good. And now pushing down through your shoulders and your feet equally, lift your hips up. Good. You may find you can interlace or somehow connect your hands underneath your back. That could bring your shoulders a little closer towards each other, which is going to give you a lot more power in this pose and a lot more space. Good. Take the pelvis up towards the ceiling. Right? Start to feel your legs, your glutes, your hamstrings, the back part of your body, a fantastic way to create strength there. Good. Keeping your head, your chin at a level position. Nice, slowly lift up a little bit more. Very nice. One more breath here. Good. And then gently lower down, lower your hips down to the floor. Lightly bring your knees into your chest. So keep your knees a little wide. Hold on to your knees. Take little egg beaters with your knees, just little circles, drawing them in and around and back. A little gentle movement for your hips. It's good too. It's like you're stirring the pot, right? The head of your femur kind of nestles into the hips there, and we're stirring it around a little bit. That's a good thing. Switch directions, go the other way. It's a few cracks or pops. They're never going to go away. At least that's been my experience, right? Movement, as long as we can keep moving. Good. And then pull the knees in, lift the feet up, happy baby pose. Reach up for your calves, your ankles, or maybe the feet themselves, and then roll the hips down. Get nicely into our hips and into the side body today. Nice. And a lot of it takes a lot of leg strength and a lot of breathing. Let your legs be heavy, but don't let your tailbone curl up. Press your shoulders down into the floor. Keep your back flat. Very nice. Into the hips. 2 more breaths here. Good. And then our last compression is bring your knees in together. And this time, see if you can give yourself a big hug. So wrap your forearms over your legs, grab your elbows, and then lie back down. Bring the head, the shoulders, the hips down onto the floor. Squeeze the knees into the chest. Tremendous compression across the transverse colon. The belly compressed, nice, into the hips. 1 more breath here. Good. Release your legs up into the air. Take your arms down by your sides. Good. Curl your tail under a little bit and slowly lower your legs down. Keep pressing the pelvis down into the ground. Nice. And once the heels touch the floor, we'll take a few moments resting in a Shavasana. So let your legs relax, your arms come somewhat out to the sides, the toes soften, chest open. Close your eyes, make sure you are in this, just right. So there's never a doubt in your Shavasana. And then we'll embrace and even honor just a little bit of silence within and without. your back like this. Take a deeper breath. Oh, really feel and fill your lungs up. And then let the next breath be accompanied with a little bit of movement in your body. And sweep your arms up over your head and reach through the right side. So flex your right foot, reach through the right fingertips, and then do that on the left side. So lengthen your left side. Your last side bend here. Flex your left foot and reach through your left fingertips. Nice. And then bring your knees into your chest and give yourself a hug. Roll a little bit on your low back. That'll always feel nice. And then as you're ready, bring yourself up to a seat. So take a seated position here. Be cross-legged or maybe sitting on a pillow. And hold your chest up and kind of tell your body to let the practice go. Release your practice. Right? That sense of contentment. Enjoy that we get from ending our yoga practice. Be willing to find a little stillness, particularly at the beginning and at the end of the practice. A lot of energetic benefit to it. The world is waiting, right? We will soon be engaging with it. And yet we kind of fortified a bit in our practice here this morning. Join your hands together in front of your heart. Bring your chin into your chest. Grateful for your practice this morning, the connection, the community of yoga. So whether you're doing this at some other time than when we're filming it live, or of course to those of us here, those of you here this morning, thank you. Have a beautiful rest of your day. I hope to see you again on Saturday. Namaste. Little forward fold as we wish each other well. The gesture, the salutation, if you will. So thank you. Thank you, everybody. Have a wonderful rest of your day. So nice to see everybody. And I hope to see you again next time. Take care.